Human interaction is a crucial part of what most people consider to be a normal, healthy lifestyle. This can be obtained through a range of methods, with family, work, and leisurely activities being the most common means of social interaction. Sport is a very popular means of coming together with friends and enjoying a certain sport, whilst simultaneously enjoying each other's company, and for hundreds of years, golf has provided this interaction. But up until recently, golf was not played often by the working class man, and instead was only available to the upper class of society, which prompts the question, does social hierarchy still impact someone's ability to participate in the game of golf? This is a constant topic of debate among many golfers, and it's very understandable why there are two sides to this story. On one hand, we have the more traditional and much more common view of the sport. That is that golf is rich in history, beginning in the 15th century in Scotland, originally designed for the country's royalty and equally elite, such as politicians and wealthy from success in business. Golf was a social activity for the upper class. Because of the sport's history, with the requirement that competitors wear a collared shirt and pants, most sportsmen are turned off the idea straight away. For the remaining few who are still interested in the game, the cost is a big factor. Besides the price of clubs, the correct attire, and the constant purchasing of balls, there is green fees. Public golf courses have the membership fees and competition fees. For the middle-class worker, this can be affordable if the player is committed to playing often, with most courses even offering a progressive membership to help promote and attract the sport to younger players aged 18 to 27, with a reduced membership fee. But if a golfer wants to join a private golf club, the prerequisites change. The biggest difference being that they need to be recommended by a golfer who is already a member at that club, making it harder for middle-class working men to join the cliché country clubs. Another factor is the membership, being much more expensive than public courses. To put this into perspective, a full ordinary membership, which offers full playing rights, costs $826 as of 2016 at the golf course where I'm a member, whilst a membership at a private club can range from anywhere from $2,000 and upwards, with places such as Huntingdale Golf Club in Melbourne not even advertising their memberships online. These facts make it clear that it is understandable why some people perceive golf as a game for the wealthy, as it would seem that the game is very accommodated to those who are considered upper class and design their clubs to filter who they see fit to play on their course. But on the other hand, it is understandable why the argument can be made that golf is no longer designed to accommodate society's wealthiest. Over the last 100 years, and the last 10 years especially, golf has undergone a huge transformation in terms of how it is perceived by the public eye. This transition is mostly credited to Francis Ouimet. Mr. Ouimet grew up as a caddy in the early 1900s until in 1913, at age 20, he won the US Open as an amateur. Ouimet's story is quite famous, as he grew up in a lower-class family and came from little money. In his monumental win at the Open, his caddy was a 10-year-old friend named Eddie Lowry, who remained his caddy even throughout the playoff round, despite being offered money to hand the role over to someone else. Francis' story was eventually made into a film by Disney and, after some help from other underdog movies, such as Happy Gilmore and Caddyshack, golf transferred to the main stage in terms of common sporting. Because of this transition, golf has become a lot more available to the common man, with smaller brands making more financially accessible equipment available to the middle class. Being an avid golfer myself, I have gone through a range of clubs in my 3 to 4 years as a player. Starting with basic equipment, as my swing improved, so did my need for better equipment to accommodate my swing, better balls to allow me to create spin, and the appropriate clothing for competition play. Golf is often picked on for this, with claims that the prerequisite for a beginner is much more than most of other sports. But this is often quite the contrary. As I stated, my swing has evolved as I have progressed, and in the beginning I had very basic equipment and no golf-appropriate attire. The same argument can be made for a tennis player who starts out with a basic racket until they learn the appropriate swing, serve, etc., or for a surfer who needs the correct board height and wetsuit. Any passionate sportsman or sportswoman will spend whatever amount of money they see fit to accustom their ability in that specific sport. So therefore it is evident that, although golf was used to separate and influence social hierarchy at one stage in our history, it can be clearly disputed that in this modern era, golf can be perceived as both an upper-class sport while simultaneously being available to the broader community for anyone who is a keen golfer or wants to use the game of golf, as the saying goes, to ruin a nice walk.